Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today I'm redoing a bracelet so that way we would have a video and some insights. And hang on, it is the pattern 5127 and pattern 14417 over on friendshipbracelets.net. Truth be told, we are making this in these colors because I did try to make a matching one to the previous and things went south. I copied an area and then did a thing and then went from there. And well, long story short, it wasn't until I was all done when I pulled out the bracelet and took a look at it and went, wait, that's not right. So there is a possibility of making mistakes with this one. To prevent that, this time I didn't zoom in as close to the bracelet while making it, and that helped me to see where I was and not duplicate a small area. So that's something I learned on, like I said, the whole purpose of me doing the make videos is to share insights, anything that I thought might be easy or difficult or whatever it might be. It's my way to be able to share that information with you guys. So that's what I got out of this, is that, yeah, there is something that could go wrong. That said, again, this particular design, this particular pattern was a result of meshing those two patterns together, and that was what we were trying to do, right? I could make this pattern with having basically exchanging one of the darks for more of the light, right? Just trade off, because there's 3 and 3, right? Or 6 and 6, depending on how you want to count it. 3 on the left side. When you flip it over, you get 3 on the right. So if it had been 2 and 4 as opposed to 3 and 3, I think we would have done just fine. I think it would have been a whole lot easier, because essentially most of the time you're trying to bury and hide one of the dark strands, and that just makes it a little bit more difficult. Instead of having nice straight rows with the light color coming into the middle, you come in a little bit and change, and then you go, the other one comes in and goes the other way to change. And that's all about just trying to hide one of the dark strands. So that would make this a lot easier. Again, if you're interested in the pattern for that, I could probably throw it together. It probably wouldn't take me very long. But that said, this is doable. I've got it in my hands right here. It's fun colors. It's a very, very bright orange. It's not actually fluorescent orange. It's just a bright one. And then a dark orange, or almost brown. And the two go well together. The pattern itself goes pretty well. You get 3 of these little, whatever you want to call that. I think they kind of look like spearheads. And then you get this interesting centerpiece. It reminds me of something, but I can't quite put my finger on what. There's like somebody's logo or something looks a bit like that. I'm not sure whose, but there is. It's an interesting piece. It looks kind of cool, and then it goes back the other direction. Sometimes, and I know I've said it a bunch, sometimes when you get past the middle, it either gets easier or harder, or it changes the difficulty. Oddly, I felt that there was almost no difference in how difficult it was, whether it was in the first half or the second half. Usually I prefer the second half, it seems. That's like thinking back to like all the videos that I've recently done. It seems like I'm always praising the second half. Not this time. No. This time I gotta say, it felt the same sort of tedious. Again, it's probably because we're having to work so hard to bury one of the browns and keep it out of the rotation. And that kind of is what it is. It adds to the difficulty level. That said, though, this isn't advanced. This is not anything crazy. This isn't something that you're going to want to wait a long time before you try. Again, it's a little challenging, but it's not the worst. So, I don't foresee myself trying to double this pattern in any kind of way. If I was, I would simplify it first, but there's no part of it that makes me think, if we made that wider or changed it, it would make it that much more interesting. It just doesn't. So if you wanted to try to imagine that, you wear the arrowhead where it comes out, all the way out, and whatever, that's going to be another dark one, because when you put two bracelets together, you get one extra row where the two join. Where they join, that's going to be a dark, and so it's just going to continue on. So instead of being separate little arrowheads, they're all going to be connected. I suppose it wouldn't be a bad look. I don't know. It's not something that immediately kind of springs at me as like, ooh, you should try that. But that said, who knows? Maybe one of you guys out there is like, hey, I want that, and please, make that happen. Sorry, dying of thirst over here. Before I forget, I want to thank my Patreon supporters and my YouTube members for making this possible. I need the string. I need it's funny, but this whole process is more expensive than I would have imagined when I got into it. But I look at it as an investment, because I plan on doing this for a while, and I kind of look forward to the notion that I get more people back into making friendship bracelets, and that everybody's wearing them around, and that I know right now it seems that the people who have the bracelets are picking them up because they've traveled somewhere interesting. So if you're in one of those interesting places and you make bracelets, then yeah, there's a market there for you. If not, there are people online buying them. I have friends who that's what they do, and they're doing all right. So kudos to them. I just think it'd be fun to get, these things to be super popular, kind of like they were, I would say, late 80s, early 90s. There was like everybody had the bracelets, but not quite as much anymore. And that's why I kind of pivoted and started making bags and making other things as well. Nobody wanted huge bracelets. Like I can make super wide cuff things that go halfway up your arm. But nobody wants to wear that. And I'm in a place where it's way too warm. I don't even want that. So bags are the answer for that. Or I've got tin cans that work as pen holders. I've got eyeglass things. I made a case to go around one of the lamps that I use for recordings. So all kinds of other things you can make with it. That is all right. So yeah, that's the center part there. It's pretty neat. What else can I tell you? It does kind of... I was going to say it gets easier as you go, but I kind of already said it doesn't. What gets easier as you go is anticipating where things are going to stop and change, and because the pattern itself, it gets a little, just a little annoying. Oh, so like where the lighter color goes over lighter color, I just went straight. I didn't do any zigzags there. For the darks, wherever it went, it was going straight. If it didn't have to change, I didn't change it. And doing that, I ended up with tassels that were just fine. There were 2 strands of the dark at the end that were shorter than the rest, but not so short that it was threatening me to like not be able to complete this. So there you go. That was the thing. Yeah. I tried to kind of segment it to the best of my abilities. I tried to find ways to make it as smooth as possible. I'm not sure that I necessarily nailed that this time. It is kind of challenging in that aspect. Again, because so many times the rows don't continue all the way to the ends. They get turned around and whatever. So, oh, I did try to keep so that there's when the dark one comes all the way out, it has to go all the way out and come back in. I tried to keep all the light ones all coming inwards. So if it was on the right side, it made a left knot. If it was on the left side, it made a right knot. And just to try to see how even and straight and stuff. Again, consistency will take you far. If you see that that's an opportunity to be able to do that, do that. If you change it every other one, that's still a consistency. Just, don't go random, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It'll look nicer that way. So if you guys have questions, honestly, just drop me a comment or somehow send me a message. I try to answer everybody. I kind of feel like we're early enough in this channel, despite having almost 3,000 subscribers. We're at a point to where I can answer the questions. If this ever got as big as, I don't know, some of the bigger YouTube channels, like I see their chats and stuff, I won't be able to answer as quickly or as easily or anything like that. And I really do want to help people, but right now is like probably the best time before the channel like pops off, because I kind of feel like it's just a matter of time before that happens. If for no other reason, the quality of the videos keeps improving. I get, higher resolutions, better sound, whatever it is. I'm trying to make it better. Soundtracks behind the video of this, you can hear music. That's me. I'm learning how to make music so that way I can improve the quality. So yeah, there's just so much going on, and I really am trying to make it the best I can. So let's see, what do we got left here? No, not much. This is the last part, I guess. So yeah, hey, thanks for hanging out with me. It does make all the world of difference. It really helps the whole thing with the YouTube. Oh, at the very end, I didn't worry as much about the changing directions because it's a simple pattern and the strings are coming to the end. So you'll notice there's a little bit of a difference here, but not much. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.